Kill me! I'm here! Kill me!
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of Gold, the 2016 movie based on a true story of the biggest fraud in the mining industry of all time. And it stars Matthew McConaughey and Bryce Dallas Howard, and it has lots of recognizable supporting actors like Stacy Keach, Craig T. Nelson, Toby Kebbell, Bruce Greenwood, I should say, Edgar Ramirez. It's just a really, really, really good cast, and I'm sorry to say I don't think this movie is all that good. It's interesting because I feel like Matthew McConaughey knocks his performance out of the park. I mean, he does just a great job in this movie. His character feels entirely true and feels completely lived in. Like, it feels like a real person on the screen, and it feels like he's got all these levels and all these dreams and all these faults and all these like foibles, and it's just such a great performance. I absolutely loved watching him in this movie from beginning to end. I thought he was great. You know, he went and clearly cut off a lot of his hair to make him look like he was balding. He put on some weight. He just really committed to this role on every level, and he was great. And it's a real shame because it's in service to a movie that I don't think deserved his performance. I mean, it just didn't live up. It didn't. The things around him didn't stack up to what he was doing. I will say I thought Bryce Dallas Howard was really solid in this movie. She has pretty great moments. There's a moment, especially in the hotel room, that she knocks out of the park as well. But for the most part, she's a very by the books kind of character. She's the girlfriend that is the only one who truly cares about this guy who's getting rich, and she's solid. She's great, but it's just nothing that is mind blowing. There's a supporting character played by an actress by the name of Rachel Taylor, who people who are Marvel fans might recognize as playing Trish Campbell in the Jessica Jones series, and I thought her performance was really interesting. She is again though a character that feels very much by the book. She's this high finance person who's trying to make a quick buck off of him, and uses her feminine wiles to kind of capture his interest, and she's in a handful of scenes. It's a very memorable role because it does feel like she's doing such a great job at playing that character that you've seen in so many different movies. But again, it is something you've seen in that many movies, and it is not in that movie all that much. And it's just, there was nothing about this movie that I really grabbed onto, and it's a shame. And one of the major things too is this movie. It's interesting because there's a lot of, like, it's not like it's a hard movie to follow. Okay, so the basic story of this movie is this guy who's kind of down on his luck. He is he mines for gold. Like he's an old-timey prospector, I should say, and he's down on his luck. He hasn't found anything, and he goes off into this far-flung land. I believe, where was it again? I'm drawing a blank. Indonesia. That's where it was. Looking at the Wikipedia here. In Indonesia, and his character, you're led to believe, thinks that he's found gold, and it just kind of goes from there. And it's an interesting story. It should have made for a fantastic film, and to a large degree in my view, but it just really never hit. There's a lot of it feels very surface level, with the exception of McConaughey's performance. Like, there's not any moments where you see him like late at night contemplating what's gonna happen. There's not anything about how he's dealing with any of this. The movie definitely doesn't make it clear one way or the other if you're supposed to believe that he was in on it or not. And I kind of feel like that's actually kind of a flaw in this case, and don't get me wrong, I do not mind ambiguity in a movie whatsoever. In fact, a lot of the times it's something I quite enjoy. But with this film, because you don't ever know if he's in on it, you don't know whether or not he is this flawed character in that regard, or if you don't have any moments with the character kind of to stew in what's going on around him. And then you like this movie, this story really screwed over a lot of people in the end. And you know, you're watching it, and there's these moments where there's these angry folk that are upset because of what's happened to them, and they feel like cartoonish. They feel like they're this kind of put in there to hold up that spot, to give the character that moment of the film, that moment of, oh, he wasn't the only one affected, and these other characters that you've come to know weren't the only ones that were affected. But it's done in such a, again, such a surface level. Everything about this film feels like, instead of being like really mired in the drama of the situation, it feels like almost like a music video kind of version of it. I mean, like, you don't have, obviously you don't have the loud music playing, and there's dialogue and that kind of thing, but everything is told as quickly as possible and as bluntly as possible. And it's a shame because McConaughey's performance isn't blunt, and it isn't quick, and it should have gotten the time to breathe, and it should have gotten the moments that really could make you bite into it, but it just wasn't there, in my opinion. And it just, this movie as a whole just falls apart to a large degree based on the filmmaking and based on the storytelling, and just doesn't work in my view. So those are my thoughts on Gold. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen it, if it sounds interesting to you. Whatever you want to let me know. Please hit that like button. It does awesome things for my channel. It makes it so that YouTube is much more likely to put my videos in front of people that wouldn't have seen them otherwise in those recommended lists. And please hit subscribe. I love talking to you guys about movies, and it will make it so hopefully you can come back and check out my further videos, and it just means the world to me. And if you would hit that notification bell so you get notified when I put out a new video, that would be freaking fantastic. Other than that, have yourself a nice day.